Now we're ready to begin building the structure that we call the criminal law. Basically, a crime has two components: the actus reus, actus, A-C-T-U-S, reus, R-E-U-S, the actus reus of a crime, and the mens rea, M-E-N-S-R-E-A. The actus reus, these are Latin terms, of course, meaning the external part of the crime, the physical part of the crime, the thing that happens in the real world that's wrong, what we don't want to have happen. The breaking and entering of a dwelling house of another at night, burglary. The killing of another human being, criminal homicide. Forcible intercourse by a man with a woman without her consent, rape. These are examples of the actus reus of crimes, the things we don't want to have happen. Now, the other part of the crime is the mens rea, or the mental part of the crime. Here we ask, with what state of mind did the defendant commit the actus reus? We'll return to the mens rea shortly, but the point here is that these are the two basic components of the crime, actus reus and mens rea. They add up, and interestingly, if you break up these two components into their subcomponents, we find that there are actually 5 elements. We're going to be talking about 5 elements. I'm going to list them for you right now, but then we'll be discussing them in depth. First, there must be some conduct by the defendant that includes a voluntary act, or, as you will see, occasionally, but just occasionally, we can substitute for a voluntary act the claim that the defendant failed to act when she had a duty to act. That's element 1 of all crimes, a voluntary act, or rarely, an omission of a duty to act. Second, that voluntary act or omission must cause social harm. So element 2 is social harm. Third, there must be the mens rea, the morally culpable state of mind. Fourth is causation, and actually we break this up into two components. Element 4 we will call actual cause, element 5 we will call proximate cause. Now we're going to look at these 5 elements in that order: voluntary act or omission, social harm, mens rea, actual causation, proximate causation. Put all together, we say that we only punish for conduct that includes a voluntary act that actually and proximately causes social harm. And this social harm must be the result of action by the defendant performed with a morally culpable state of mind. In other words, mens rea. All right, let's start looking at these 5 elements.